Howdy Tamers, and welcome to another coverage of BeatBreak for LostinTranslationmon. This time we're covering Digimon BeatBreak Episode 3, Facing Mirrors. I'm Kobias, and I'm joined by two wonderful people this time. First up we have Guz, as always. Hello Guz.
G'day, g'day.
And another one of my wonderful friends called Geo, who was actually helping me open the packs for the Cyber Eden unboxing that we did on the channel just a little bit ago. So, hello Geo.
Hello, hello. Instead of breaking open a box, I'm now beat breaking. Let's go.
Not breaking packs, but breaking beats instead.
Exactly.
Bro, you almost had it. You fumbled that, bro.
It was so close, so close.
You know what?
You
It's
almost
alright.
had the joke, man.
That's what happens. We all know I'm not the funny one. I'm the one to be funnied. Makes sense in my brain. But we'll get there.
But yeah, just a quick housekeeping thing before we get into it is that we just watched episode 3, so we won't be talking about our predictions. We're still just... So did I say episode 3 or episode 4? We just finished watching episode 4.
You said 3.
Okay, well...
Said 3, sorry. Pardon me.
We're all doing really well today so far. So we just watched episode 4, we just finished watching, 5-10 minutes ago. We obviously won't be talking about...
That.
Yeah, if that. We won't be obviously talking about episode 4 in this recording, but we're going to be recording episode 4 coverage immediately after. So that means that we won't bother doing predictions for episode 4 because we've just watched it. And we will have Postmon Pat in this episode, but we won't have it for the next one because, yeah, we're doing it literally boom, boom, back to back. So just a quick update about that, because a few people, we did have someone in the comments who was confused about how we were just talking about episode 2 last week because it came out after episode 3, but as of recording episode 2, episode 3 hadn't come out, but as of recording this episode 4 is out and we're about to cover it. I hope that somewhat made sense. But anyway, so that's what we're going to be doing. Quick synopsis for episode 3 is that Tomoro tracks the Hayamon down who took the Hitomi's Sapotama, but Hayami evolves to Fangmon. Golden Dawn attempt to stop Tomoro and Gekomon because they want to just have complete vengeance. But then Tomoro and Gekomon go berserk. However, the team are able to basically calm down Tomoro and Gekomon, and they're able to also get back Hitomi Sapotama, and that revives Hitomi from the plot sickness when she gets her Sapotama back. So
and an unnamed second Sapotama as well.
Yeah, but it wasn't Asuka's because he's still got the plot sickness. But
he was got by the monkey, not the dog. So that's how you know.
Oh yeah. Because
I'm pretty sure the second Sapotama is the actual Fangmon one, the one that belongs to Fangmon because they come from it.
Yeah.
So you had within him both his one as well as Hitomi's one.
Yeah, true. But
maybe the second one comes from.
Yeah. In any case, what were our highlights for episode 3?
Oh, I actually really liked the episode.
Oh, it was
personally for me.
Really good.
I think the second I watched it, I was screaming to Kobe. I can tell you that much for free.
Oh yeah, we were all screaming, but I was like, I could record another episode. Then I got super tired, and I was like, no, I won't. I won't force myself. But I've got enough energy to do 2 today. So hopefully the two of you also have enough boundless energy for this. Geo always has boundless energy, as we know.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I'm literally jumping in my seat. It's that much. But no, this episode was I liked it. I really liked it. There's so much things that the highlight for me comes down to there's a lot of seeds that were sprinkled in the episode that anyone who enjoys character arcs, narrative arcs, and likes to see little trinkets, I guess, as a dungeon master, when you sprinkle little things early on, and you just hope to see what could happen in the future. And that, to me, was this episode. There were elements where I can talk about any character and just sort of be like, yeah, there's something that happens here, specifically with Tomoro, and that interaction with Gekomon. Now, I think that was fascinating. I adored that. I liked that. And for so many reasons. I don't want to spill the microphone. That's why.
No, I absolutely agree with that point. I also like that this season, I mean, in every series of Digimon that has a partner Digimon, the partner Digimon and the human kind of have like this, like the human is the evolution battery or the energy battery for the Digimon. But I absolutely feel like BeatBreak has made that even more so apparent. Like they seem to literally need their human partner to get energy. Before it was just like a little bit of a boost. In this one is like they don't even eat food in BeatBreak. Like in other seasons of Digimon, they've kind of been like oh, maybe they need food. Kind of like they will. Lots of Digimon do enjoy eating food. But it's sort of like, oh, they don't really necessarily need human food. But this one is just like, they get nothing from the consumption of human food. Gekomon just likes eating. He doesn't get anything from it. We have like the Digimon kind of just sitting there while their human partners eat. Gekomon's like the only Digimon who is really like eating the food. So I feel like that's kind of interesting too, that it's just saying their only sustenance they can actually use is the E-Pulse. Which just feels like makes them feel even more like digital life forms rather than just animals that are kind of magical.
Yeah, they're removing the subtlety. There's no symbolism. They're really just sort of stripping that down and being very in your face about it and just going, they need this to live. It's you, it's your connection. Yeah. And whether that's physical or the Wi-Fi glowing hand moments.
Yeah.
You know, it's the hockey, bro. They're charging. You know, there's a lot of that. But I'm actually really surprised, Kobe, that you didn't lead in with your highlight being that you were right.
Which part was I right about?
You were right about the Fangmon Digivolution and being in the digital liminal space, not the digital world proper. Yeah,
I mean, that's also something that I mentioned it in last week's episode, was that Digimon in the last 10 years has had that sort of like in-between world. So in BeatBreak, it's the mirror world, whereas we had I think it was called the Digicourts in Young Hunters. I forgot. I think it was called AR Field in Ghost Game, maybe, or maybe that was Atmon. I know that both Ghost Game and Atmon had like the in-between world. So they've really been going into. Oh no! Before we get to go to the digital world, we have like this in-between like velvet room of this is neither the Digimon world or the human world. It's kind of like an in-between world. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, you're right. I did talk about that, but yeah, the that in-between one. So yeah, I just feel like they're not going to go the digital world for a bit, at least.
Yeah. And we were kind of right about them facing literal reflections with the whole mirror shenaniganery.
Yeah.
And even the Japanese translation. So we actually got quite close on a few things.
Yeah.
The Dark Digivolution, I think that's definitely my highlight. I really liked that.
Or the lack thereof. Because there were, as Geo said, there were crumbs.
Yeah.
There were crumbs for the potential for there to be a dark evolution. But again, my highlight from last week is we're not going into the obligatory, hey, this is the first like few episodes, everyone's going to get an evolution each week. We're not doing that. We've had like one evolution, well, two if you include Kugamon, but it kind of just chills as an adult form anyway. But I'm glad we're not being introduced to a new evolution every single week. And we've only had 2 of the team have evolutions that have been seen. We don't even know if Chipperomon can evolve to adult yet. Maybe it just has that, but it just chooses not to. We haven't seen that evolution. We haven't seen Geckomon's evolution. So far, there's just been crumbs of there could be a dark evolution because if the partner human has like a moment that reflects onto how Geckomon is feeling in this case, which is pretty cool.
Oh, I love it because like I love the dark stuff because like I said in one of the earlier ones, I want Geckomon to turn into a virus type just to break your heart a little.
Yeah, that would break me. Like, like I'm just like staring at Geckomon. Like when you come to the TCG, you better not be purple. You better be green. I will accept green.
Green purple. I will accept green purple, and that's not because I am green purple. Look at me.
That is true. I will also accept green red. because like
that could be interesting.
The majority of the I know he doesn't wear goggles, but I'm just going to say Goggle Kid, as in
he has glasses.
He has glasses, but the main character protag. So like Masaru and Hiro also didn't have goggles, but they were in that role of the kid with lizard. Also the main character, the focal point, the viewer insert main character sort of thing. Those have, for the most part, have been red. The exception being like Masaru, his deck is more like yellow leaning, and it started red. It started red, but it is more like yellow. Whereas we have Davis, and his Digimon lines are basically just blue, except for like Flamedramon, which I believe is blue-red.
Yeah.
But for the most part, that Goggle Kid role in the card game is usually red. So I can see it being green-red, but I'm worried it might just be green-purple. As long as it is green, I don't mind. It might just be purple-red, and that would just break. That would shatter my heart. That would just break. That would explode.
Purple-red? No. We don't talk about that here anymore.
We don't do that.
But one thing that I do find is interesting, I don't know whereabouts we might circle into this or not, but like Toma's not allowed to delete the Punimon, right?
Yeah.
Now, I think this is kind of odd, right? Because at least in the early canon of Digimon, right? Talking season 1, season 2, pardon me, deleting Digimon was kind of just like, yeah, whatever. Because they then just go back to the starting village.
Not for season 2. Season 2, they didn't delete Digimon until like when they're fighting the Demon Corps. And then there's like one of my favorite moments in 02 is that Hikari and Taichi are like sitting in their room, and there's like, you know, shadows over their faces, and they're like, we need to tell these kids that they need to kill Digimon.
Yeah.
Because they hadn't been killing Digimon. They've been removing the spirals around them. They've been kind of saving them. But there was like that turning point of like, hey, we need to actually tell them that sometimes you need to kill the Digimon. So yeah, I see what you're saying. But yeah, in the first season of Digimon, in the 1999 adventure, it was just kind of like, you have to just kill them.
Yeah.
Because they are monsters. So yeah, you're right. That is an interesting point.
Yeah, because now it's also like, as the baby, will that Punimon, when they digivolve, still turn into that Haiemon? Will it still then turn into a Fangmon? Will it still then be evil? Is this now them just sort of skipping past the reincarnation bit and just saying, nah, they're starting over now. It's a whole blank slate. Like, I don't know what that kind of means.
It could be more like the virtual pets, about how, like, they can change their evolution line completely depending on the care that they have and the experience that they have. So maybe they're saying that is them being kind of like reborn as babies, and then they can be corrected and not become evil. But do we actually know much about where the Digimon go? I know episode 4 kind of touches on it a little bit, but we won't talk about that too much until obviously the coverage for episode 4. But I wonder if they just go to like a jail. Like, they're just in jail now. This tiny little, like, baby Punimon is now just taken to jail.
No, what they do is they plug it up into a machine that converts it from, like, a physical object to a digital object. They put it on a USB, they get a name tag, write Punimon on it, and then throw it in a drawer.
Oh.
That'll be funny.
Electronics jail.
Yeah.
I feel so called out because I have just, like, I'm pretty sure everyone, like, around our age, but also everyone working in tech will just have a drawer full of cables that they have no idea what it goes with, but you don't want to throw it out just in case you find the thing.
I know what it goes with, and I'll find it soon.
Yeah. It's like, it definitely goes with, like, I've looked at, like, old, like, Nintendo DS ones that have been, like, third party, so they've been, like, USB ones, and I'm like, I have no idea what this goes in. It's not micro USB, it's not mini USB. I don't know what it is, so it's going in a drawer. And then, like, a year later, I'll be like, oh, it's for my Nintendo. Like, yeah. But yeah, it's just taken to the tech drawer of just like, there's something on this USB. I don't know what it is, but there's something.
And I should probably plug it into a computer that doesn't have the internet.
Yeah, that's just not connected to a network, just in case it becomes an evil Fangmon or something. But yeah, So, I did have another highlight, but it's also paired with a kind of prediction. So, episode 3, we got to meet all the other humans, like the old man. And I found something really interesting about the old man, about what we saw from him, is that he drives an old car. And by old, I mean, like, uses petrol. Because Gekomon says it smells like gasoline. And that makes me think that I think this is set in, like, you know, a few decades down the line. It's like in the nearish future to where we are now. So a lot of the things are electric cars and self-driving cars. But he's driving like a current era for the time that we're living in car. So I'm wondering if he has the similar sort of condition or the same condition as Tomoro has, where he just kind of breaks anything like connected to the new tech, the Sabotamo. So I find that kind of like a possibility, because otherwise, like, they're either saying he's poor and can't afford like a new model car that's electronic, or maybe he's got the same condition and later on Tomoro will have, like, you know, a moment about how he's sad that he keeps on blowing everything up. And then we'll have this old guy who's just like, hey, don't worry, kid, I have the same condition, sort of thing.
I think it's kind of funny that Analog Man has an analog car.
Yeah, he is also just Analog Man, yeah, from from Digimon World. You'd like that, wouldn't you, Machine Drawn Fire?
I would love an analog car to go in my analog card game.
That is true. I mean, maybe
so
he'll get it.
Yeah, I mean, well, for anybody who doesn't know, Kobe is actually the one that explained this to me, but the reason why there's an Analog Man and Analog Youth is because they're not of the digital world. I didn't realize that was the reason that was part of their naming convention.
Yeah, because it's a digital world, analog world.
Yeah. I thought it was like, that's kind of funny. But, like, pointing it out with this, like, one dude being analog as heck, it's kind of funny.
Yeah. Do we have any other highlights?
It's not so much of I mean, like, it's a highlight that goes back to the point we were discussing with Tomoro and Gekomon. But it's also, like, a take that is a breadcrumb that goes forward, and I don't know if that's, like, we do it now, or do I have to, like, do just ramble on how I don't think it's got anything to do with Punimon. And I think it's all to do with a take that Tomoro is not meant to be the hero.
That could be interesting, yeah. Because something that it's something that I felt during episode 4, but it's kind of like it's not relevant necessarily just episode 4, is that Tomoro feels more like the character that joins halfway through the series.
Yeah.
Even though, I mean, for Glowing Dawn, they have already been on their own adventure for a while, so this is just taking place when he joins, so that's why he feels like that, the Ken, the Koichi, the character that joins the adventure halfway through is just kind of like the extra guy who just joins the team, like the Kari in season 1, that sort of thing. So he's still kind of learning the ropes there, but yeah, I mean, he could just be like a reverse Digimon Emperor, I guess, where he starts off as like one of the team and then becomes like the antagonist because he's got like some issues.
I did say he's Sasuke coded.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's like a reason why I feel like it's there. So like we can start off with even the opening. In the opening, they're talking about how E-Pulse is fueled by a person's thoughts and feelings. And yet for some reason we're only introduced to Tomoro being the only person who glitches and corrupts.
That we know of.
That we know of for now. We then also have the motive or the theme that follow your own beat, follow your own beat of your own drum, follow your own beat. The part of me is thinking with Tomoro specifically, it's these little crumbs that are meant to amalgamate in he's not someone who conforms, he is someone that will do his own thing. And so why I think they can go down an anti-route, and this is where it gets really funny, and why towards the end of episode 3 they were very adamant about we don't kill, is because I genuinely see him becoming a villain. Because at some point I reckon there will be some tension where he wants to do his own thing, and the rules are preventing him because it's already kind of coded that way. He's naturally going to cause problems with the glitching. So where you got AI and the Sapatoma trying to guide everyone every day, and he's like, I won't follow it, I'm not going to trust it, I'm not going to be guided by it, I'm not going to be told what to do. I think there's an element where he is genuinely going to become a character where it's like, I need to follow my own beat, I need to follow my own pathway, and it just so happens that his own pathway might become counter-antithesis to what Glowing Dawn want to do, and this is just the crumb. We're already started off with, we have to put an end to this, and everyone's like, no.
Yeah.
Well, they have left the Chekhov's gun on the table, like, very, very openly, right? It's like, we don't kill. It's like, okay, it's a great point for you to bring up this early on. However, because you brought it up, it's going to be addressed later.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And someone's going to make a kill. Who, what, when?
I think
will happen.
Yeah.
It's just going to be about that timing.
Yeah, I mean, it could just be like the easy one of like they have to kill something because it's literally like them or the Digimon that's attacking sort of situation, which I feel like that would be the easy thing. Another thing that I've noticed is that just reading online is that a lot of people are saying that Kyo is going to be the one that turns out to be evil, but I feel like that's just too easy.
Yeah, no, it is too easy.
And also, something I noticed is that he's got, like, scars around his neck, and I wonder if maybe that's why he doesn't want to kill, because one time, like, he had to kill a Digimon because it meant that he, like, saved himself, but that has kind of traumatized him, and that's why he's got these scars on his neck.
That would make sense.
But also, there could be a birthmark, it could just be, like, a character thing, or it could have been, like, something from a previous battle, because he is, you know, the very old, mature age of 22.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's why I think Tomoro kind of fits that bill, because you guys can correct me, but I don't think we genuinely have where the main character ends up becoming like the anti-hero or sort of the villain segue.
Not for long. Like, it's always like the Dark Evolution is kind of like a one episode, maybe the main character's having a bit of a tantrum. And like that happened in Data Squad, it happened in Adventure, it happened in Tamers, where they're temporarily kind of on the bad side, but they get kind of like a quick slap on the wrist, and then they get better. But if we actually have a Dark Evolution where the character's just like, hey, this is how I kind of like it, and they just go off and become evil from there, that could be a great, like, is subversion the right word for it? Where it's subverting expectations for the Dark Evolution being like hey, don't do that anymore, and then they don't do it. Like, a lot of the anime have just been like that for the Dark Evolutions. And I guess brief spoiler for Digimon Survive, which came out like a few years ago now, so it's kind of safe, but Digimon Survive did that, where a Dark Evolution happened, like multiple did actually, and there were huge consequences. People actually died. Like, it wasn't just a case of like, oh no, collateral damage, but the bad guy got defeated anyway by the Dark Evolution, so that's good. It's actually a case of, oh no, Dark Evolution happened, people will die. And that's something I really liked about Survive, because the anime always, again, felt like it didn't have huge consequences. It was just kind of, again, a slap on the wrist. So I feel like BeatBreak is setting up for something a little bit more in depth that we've seen from Dark Evolutions in the anime, and that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, that's what I'm keen for. I think that's happening.
Historically as well, right? Like, the anime tended towards not quite the same young audience that Pokemon had. Somewhere in between that and like a teenager, somewhere in that more mature kind of spot where it was like the coming into, right? But the games were always that next step. It was always just a little bit more in that sort of darker or more mature territory.
Oh, I mean, so, like, have you seen the American poster for the original Digimon world? It's like, not your little brother's Digimon. And then it says, like, warning, this is not suitable for people who suck at video games. Like, it was so aggressive.
I have to see this.
But the funny
Kobe,
thing is, like,
you gotta bring that up, bro. I gotta see that.
Hold up. Where is this?
It's the interesting thing is that the Japanese, American, and the PAL region marketing was all very different for the first Digimon World game. The Japanese version had like, look at this chibi guy, he's on an adventure with his chibi Digimon, it's super cool. And then we had the PAL version, which was just a logo for the Digimon Adventure 999 anime, featuring Digimon who did not appear in Digimon World. But it was like, it was blue background, Digimon logo. It's like, hey kids, remember the anime? This is the anime, but a video game. And then the English USA one was just like, this is Metal Greymon, and he is ready to fight. And if you're bad at video games, you're gonna hate this game because you suck. It was so funny, like the level of like, you know,
it's so
edge.
edgy and cringe.
I mean, great. I think they had the whole thing with Kirby from like the Japanese to the American, where they noticed that Kirby sold more in America if he had angry eyes. Which is why in all the English prints of like any Kirby game, he's but like in Japanese, he's hi. It's very funny.
Like, hi. Like it is it's that sort of like how marketing's different. But yeah, you are right, and I've actually been noticing the same sort of thing as what you just said, Guz, in when I'm playing Time Stranger at the moment, but I'm also playing Legend ZA, and I feel like Pokemon, and this isn't a slight against Pokemon, they're just different franchises. I'm still enjoying them both, but Legends felt like very much just like, hey kid, are you ready to go on an adventure with your Pokemon? And it's sort of like, you know, nothing bad will happen because you've got your best buddy. And then there's Digimon, like with Time Stranger and like Survive, like people will die.
Yeah.
People can and will die. Do you want to die? I want to die. That sort of thing. So that is sort of like that difference between the franchises of Digimon kind of being, at least more recently, more prepared to be for an older audience. Whereas Pokemon is still like, they're just aiming more so at kids and people who have nostalgia for the franchise.
I do want to point out very quickly while on that, there is a funny part in Arceus, right?
Oh, Arceus is good.
Where in like the midpoint where it's just like, you're being banished from the village. If you come back, we have a shoot to kill order. Like it's actually insane. And then there is a section in ZA where you just kind of become the muscle for an underground crime organization.
Oh yeah.
Like Pokemon has taken some very wacky turns. There's also that very infamous bit in Sun and Moon where like Lucamine turns around and tells her own children she wishes they were never born because they've been nothing but like a hindrance to them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Pokemon's been playing with some wacky beers, but 100% it's never as mature, as dark as what Digimon is very comfortable walking into.
Like Digimon World 2003, like it was just like,
oh my god,
Galacticmon, what is your purpose? I'm a weapon of mass destruction. Cool! Thanks, bud.
I want to blow up the world.
I'm gonna fuse with Earth and become a Digimon called Gaiamon.
Yep.
Nice. It's part of the reason why I love Tamers so much, because the way they unpacked Rika with Renamon and that whole like that whole situation. If you get to dark elements where they're not afraid to just be like, yeah, you know what? This is an imposter Jerry.
Or in general, Jerry's whole breakdown.
Oh my god, yeah. But also valid. Like watching someone that you love get Kali Mard is kind of crazy.
Yeah, after watching your mother die. Like, and I'm pretty sure,
and then
like,
the ending of that season as well, where it's like all the tamers are there with their Digimon, and then like Takado's dad or whatever is just like, I'm sorry, the only way to save the world is to kill all of your friends.
No, that's Henry's dad.
I know it's Henry's dad. Good and lied to me.
Yeah,
anyway,
it's Henry's Takado's dad doesn't. He bakes bread. He owns a bakery with his wife.
That's where you get the Gilmore. That's where you get the Gilmore bread stuff.
I knew it. He lied to me.
Henry's
Anyway.
dad actually matters. Like he's got like a purpose.
Yeah.
But anyway, we are moving so far on from BeatBreak, and we haven't even mentioned Frontier yet.
Thank God. Anyway,
so for the TLDR, that's why I'm actually thinking the crumbs are for if they ever do it. Hopefully, something where the main protagonist ends up not being the good guy, or at least adopts the dark side and becomes like the Anakin Skywalker of the
Darth Vader.
BeatBreak. Yeah. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Oh yeah, you want him to go around and kill all the younglings?
Yeah.
Is that it?
He goes around and kills the babies that are in jail at the moment.
Yep. I mean,
in the USB drawer.
Look, he was going to start with...
He just grabs a hammer or like a magnet to the USB drawer. Baseball bat.
Yeah, exactly. He sees it was going to start off with Punnymon, so you never know. Might enter into an in-training field where just all these little in-training Digimon
it's like the opposite of like the Ken goes to Primary Village to be yelled at and guilt-tripped by babies in 02. It's like the opposite.
Yeah.
He just goes with like a bat. It's just the cat in the hat scene where he's about to like hit like the kid with the bat. Like
he walks in with the bat and it says recommended for children as he's hitting them.
Jeez.
It's a seal clubbing, but digital.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we don't have any highlights. Do we have any lowlights?
Yes.
Well, no, we have heaps of highlights. Don't worry about that.
Oh, I thought we were done. I mean, I thought we were done with the highlights. I was just going to move on to lowlights because we've been rambling.
No, I still have the highlight of, unfortunately, I have to say it again, the Mushroom Boys coming back.
Oh yeah, when they came back, I was like, Guz is happy.
I am, because they reintroduced them in a very fun, non-traditional way.
A sad way, actually. I felt bad for them.
Yeah, they became victims, and then a puzzle piece to solve Toma's stuff. And it was really cool because they did exactly what they would have done in character. They saw a low-level bounty that they could scrape by on. They got absolutely clapped, right? It's set up for more story. There was payoff. There was consequence, right? For Toma and the rest of Glowing Dawn not having dealt with that Hyemon, another team had to bear the consequences of that. Yeah. Now, obviously, it's indirect consequences, but Toma felt responsible for that. You can tell through the course of the entire episode. And so it was really, really, really cool to see that sort of loop back around, right? And again, because I've mentioned it a bunch, but going through the entirety of One Piece, it's a long form story, right? So like you'll get 200 to 300 episodes in and then something will pay off. This is paying off within that 1 to 2 episode kind of bubble. So it makes me feel so happy at a narrative standpoint to have all these like little rewards for just watching the show and paying attention, because it just itches the brain just positively.
Any other highlights? I
mean, I do have one, but I was going to save that for when we're talking about favorite characters, because it's a similar thing to like on what Guz is saying. But when we get to favorite characters, I'll break it down.
Okay, that's
I actually love this character.
Guz, any more highlights?
I mean, I like the silence between Kyo and Toma towards the end of the episode, because I think when it comes to the writing, to scripts and things like that, particularly if you consume a lot of American style media, there would have been a very big moment where like Kyo would have just admonished Toma, been like, we don't do this, blah, 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 and like actually like ripped into him, you know what I mean? There would have been like a whole monologue or whatever. But I think I enjoy the silence because we already know that that's what's being said. But instead of actually having to put that in, to record it, to have that eat up all that time, it's just this 3 to 4 seconds of just silence and understanding passes between them. And I think that's beautiful. I genuinely think that's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like the unspoken words.
Yeah. Without being spoon-fed.
Yeah, nice. Without being spoon-fed, like how we should feel and how the characters feel. Yeah. We have like, you know, that understanding the context of doesn't need to be said. You can just read into it.
Yeah.
But any other highlights?
How about you? You got any more, Kobe?
Nah, I'm spoiler alert, I don't actually have any lowlights either.
Oh boy, do I have one for you that kind of really grinds my gears.
Okay, let's hear it. Let's move on to lowlights. What's up?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I don't like when we were talking about the old gentleman, our analog man. He's funny and all, he's great. I just didn't like the first time we're interacting with him. He's basically saying to Reina, is this your new boyfriend? And immediately setting the tone of like immediate ship, immediately like this female character is gonna be a love interest and stuff like.
I hope just not. Like, I hope that there's no romance in it. I don't like
agree.
romance in Digimon.
I agree. I don't want there to be like I want it to just be there for the story of them, like, you know, obviously trying to. The world itself is an interesting world. Like, it's already somewhat dystopian when we like.
Oh no, it's dystopian as fuck.
Yeah, it's very.
Yeah,
it's
a very fascinating world, and it's a very fascinating thing that's about the unpacking with emotions, and again, following your own beat. I'm worried that the way they're going to introduce Analog Man's character. Now I'm just going to call him Analog Man. I'm sorry.
But that's fine. That's his name now. It's canon. It's canon.
He does.
Right. I know
he does. It's like Yoshi or something.
Yoshimaru.
Like
I know it's Yoshimaru, but like
it's Analog Man. It's Analog Man.
Yoshimaru? What? Isn't that
Yoshimaru? Yoshimaru is his name. So yeah, now I'm worried that. Yes, we can probably like chalk it up to like this guy's meant to represent old boomer thing, old school analog stuff. Drives an old car, doesn't seem to have a Sapatoma with him, or any kind of new age technology. But like your first kind of lines are basically undermining Reina's character to be a potential love interest. It's like, why?
I think that's part of the genre convention as well. Like, older guy, we don't really know a lot about him, low-key kind of creepy, says something inappropriate to a female, either supporting or lead character, you know, and I think it was definitely popularized by fucking, what is it, Master Roshi.
Yeah, I was about to say Master Roshi, yeah. But
with Bulma
actually,
all the time.
Geo just reminded me of something. So, Geo, you said that he's a boomer, but when this is set, he's actually would be, like, this is our age when.
Oh God! Is
this
going to be us in millennial in the future? Am I?
Hang on.
Be a 60-year-old guy, bro?
Millenniummon. But
his real name was Rio.
Oh no!
But no, he'd be a millennial. He won't be a boomer. So this is like this is us. This is us because we're 30 in this day and age. But when this show comes out, we're analog men now.
You're basically saying we're gonna be cringe when we get older.
We're cringe now.
That
brings us up to comments.
Yeah, we'll cover in the comments. But we were like trying to be hip and young with the kids. And I couldn't remember what the kids are actually saying because I'm old. So but I worked that out, by the way, because I saw some like chalk drawings on like the pavement when I went for an Arvo walk the other day, and it was just 6, 7. I'm like, that's the thing the kids are saying. It's 6. I don't know. I don't get it. It's 6, 7. It's like two off the funny number. I don't get it. But yeah, so we were trying to
That's a vibe check. It's the vibe check.
It's a TikTok meme that basically means so it's like you're feeling so. It's just like, no. They're gonna be started with 6, 7. Oh gosh.
We are very we have like entered the realm of being cringe old because we don't get what is in. It's like the Abraham Simpson line of like what I used to be with it, but then they changed what it was, and then what is in I'm not, and it'll happen to you. And like as I get older, I remember that line and I like shudder. I'm like, oh, he was right.
Yeah.
Trick is, I was never with it, so I don't care.
Ooh, same. I've always been like a bit behind the ball there.
True.
But yeah, that's my low light. Is just that interaction was just like,
that's fair.
Do we really need that? Like, come on. Can we move on from the Master Roshi of the worlds? We don't really need that.
Cringe millennial moment.
Yeah, I think it's just part of the genre convention, unfortunately.
I mean, at least he wasn't like explicitly creepy towards all the women.
No.
Like that's kind of like more of like a slightly out of touch dad thing to say of like, oh, is this your boyfriend kind of thing, of just like assuming that the heteronormative relations of like, hey, that is a boy, you are girl, boyfriend ? But so I mean, I'm just glad that he wasn't like, Reina, kind of like creepy for no reason.
Yeah.
Like at least it was more like a well-meaning question of like, oh, you have a boyfriend, kind of thing. Like I could have been so much worse, but I do understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Any other lowlights?
I don't think so. Not for me. It was just really that. I want to know more about the Marquee Bar scene. That's just interesting. It gets me thinking about the whole Kurumi Detective Agency and Cyber Sleuth. Got it's just
the
like
pub.
that. The pub, the quintessential. I'm like, yep, this is going to be a routine hangout now. This will be sick.
You know, you know what it gives me? I know we always talk about One Piece in every episode, but this definitely feels like Shaq's bar. Like,
I was literally about to say that. This is Shaqy and Rayleigh,
Yeah, that's what this is. Like the old guy that used to be with it, that's no longer with it, that's just running around doing odd jobs. That's Yoshimura. He's out there just having a good time, and then there's this attractive woman, dark hair, that just has the information. Oh
my gosh, you're absolutely right. It is absolutely like it is Shaqy bar. Yeah. But
it's great.
Yeah,
I love having underage children in pubs. This is great.
No.
Where's the ID checker at the door? No, it's Yoshimaru. That's it. He's the ID checker. Yoshimaru's.
It's
fine.
I got asked for ID the other day, and I always do this whenever I get asked while I'm getting my license out. I'm like, how old do you think I am? And I broke a record about how young they thought I was.
Nice.
They thought I was 23.
Respect. Well done.
It's still over 18 though. Like, do you know what I mean?
I know, but they have to ask that if you look under 25. And I'm like, that's pretty good. But anyway,
is it bad that I don't get asked for ID anymore?
I just accept? You have facial hair going on.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, that helps. I do not. So
Julia, my partner, she walks in with all kinds of tattoos all over her, and she still gets ID'd.
Yeah. Well, Julia looks pretty young.
Yeah, she is. Her knees and back would disagree. But,
fair. But anyway, favorite character, aka Guz and Kobias, try not to pick Gekomon for a third week in a row. I picked Kyo just
every week in a row.
I was so close to picking Gekomon. Like I can't do it. I can't do it again. So I'm going with Kyo because he's just like, I feel like it's really nice to have like this level-headed kind of like technical grown-up kind of like leading the group. He is helpful. He kind of is he has like a teacher role almost with these kids, and I just thought he was really cool in this episode. I liked the stern moment of silence. I liked how he said we don't delete Digimon. I just thought that was really cool as well. I just felt like they did a really good job with him this episode. So I'm gonna pick Kyo. I know that Geo has like a soliloquy for us, so I'll ask Guz next. Guz, who is your favorite?
Again, without choosing Gekomon, obviously, so we have to pick our second favorite character. I mean, it was nice to see Fangmon do stuff, but like I really don't like that Digimon in general.
Yeah, long nose.
It's just all the proportions are just long, and it's just weird because it feels like a reverse Leviamon when you're looking at him.
It's too long. It just everything about it is too long. It's like it
hits the uncanny valley, and I feel gross.
It's like it's a Borzoi, but like creepy.
Yeah. But I think my favorite in this episode, I think, is actually Toma, because of the amount of growth he sort of gets in episode 3.
Yeah.
And even the turning around and actually calling Gekomon.
Instead of
and then the lighting. And then the lights in Gekomon's eyes, it's like screaming with pure happiness. And it's just sort of like...
adorable, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? You did a good job here today, bud. You know what? You can have one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair. And
100%. The way they work with Tomoro, like in episode 3, is because it's definitely showcasing his character growth arc. You've got starting off to being distrusting to then eventually being like, I need to connect at some capacity, which is going to be a really cool thing.
Not to mention the ambush plan that they had against Fangmon.
Yeah.
That was great.
That was off screen. They just went, no, I got a plan. I'm going to pretend that I lost you. And you get that through pure context clues. Fangmon rocks up. He knows exactly what's going down. Drumstick in the face. Hilarious. And then a tongue all the way through to what would have been, if I'm judging by the X-rays that Chipromon gave us, Fangmon's booty from the inside out.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And then took out the Sepratama. Like, fun, I guess. Bit questionable, but there you go.
And Geo, who's your favorite?
Alright, Geo's about the monologue, son. Let's go.
Monologue
no, okay,
man.
so my
I'll be back.
monologue man. Yeah, grab a seat, grab popcorn. This is a time to sit back. No, my favorite character actually is the Fangmon.
Yeah.
For this specific episode, it's not because like Fangmon. Like I do agree with Guz. This guy looks whack and janky. Like, are you just like cosplaying as Leviathan with red fur? Is sort of the vibe you get with Fangmon. But the reason I actually quite enjoyed the piercing Hyamon, the piercing one, and the Digivolves into Fangmon is because for an early minor antagonist, it was a very well written early minor antagonist. It encompasses 3 episodes. It doesn't feel like a throwaway character, which maybe we'll see what happens in episode 4. But it's essentially, this is a minor character that meant to be an antagonist that sets the scene, that sets the tone. We are aware of, like, there are going to be Digimon that are positive, and then you're going to have some Digimon that are going to be quite morally unethical or morally on the wrong side. Like, depends on where you want to see it, but like they're basically not heroes. They're going to cause drama, cause problems, cause a lot of issues for selfish gains. So you're kind of establishing that scene. You're then also establishing the crumbs again, where we're talking about Tomoro's potential character growth and character arc. That there's something so simple. What for the Fangmon did, you have then Tomoro's character arc being developed, him with Gekomon being developed, and so it all kind of culminates to this really interesting, well-written minor antagonist. And this is just a minor antagonist. So if they're able to sort of flesh it out beyond just simply evil hyena go burr, which they have, it makes you then anticipate what are they going to do with the future antagonists they're going to meet. And so just that small snippet in this episode, Fangmon definitely took the cake for me.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, that is very fair. But I do really like that, like, you're not just picking like main characters, you're picking like, you know, the Mon of the Week, which is absolutely valid. Like, I know when I've picked favorite characters for previous season coverage before, I've sometimes picked the Mon of the Week, because sometimes the Mon of the Week is really fascinating, or it brings something up that's relevant to the plot or relevant to world building, relevant to the universe. So that is very valid.
Yeah, so that's for this episode 3, favorite character of the episode, you know, player of the game, player of the series. For me it's going straight to Fangmon. Yeah, valid. The Hyamon Fangmon. But yeah.
And soon it'll be that hologram guy that comes out of the egg. The one that's like, I'm not going to give you any mysterious information about your questions. Goodbye. And then logs out like half the time, but isn't actually logged out because government
Jedi
guy be doing sus. Yeah.
Dude, he seems so annoyed that people are like asking him. It's like, just leave me alone. I'm on a break vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm your supervisor, but I'm not supervising you. You know what I mean?
Millennial moment.
Yeah, true.
But what about rating out of 5? I gave this episode a 4.5, so far basically my favorite episode of the series. I thought that it gave us a lot of, as Geo worded it, crumbs for the future events of the series. It built on things that were introduced from episode 2. It's more of that tension between the members of the cast. It kind of like just continued to grow from what was already set up, but it planted more seeds for future things to happen. So I really appreciate that. So yeah, 4.5, best episode of the series out of the 3 so far.
Yeah, I concur. Easy 4.5 has jumped, or basically skyrocketed to being the best one out of the 3, which is actually really funny, because if you look at, like, I had a look earlier today at the IMDb ratings, and it turns out episode 3 is the lowest rated out of the first 3.
What?
Which is, so episode 1's at 9, episode 2 is like 8.5, and episode 3 is at 7.
Out of how many people, though? Because it could have been a case of maybe it had less votes.
There is that there is that to note. So like you've got 23 for the episode 3, but it was just an interesting to note that it is perhaps a lower rated for all episodes, but like I wonder if they're just watching it from an entertainment point of view. But if we're looking from a narrative point of view, when you look at the characters, the breadcrumbs, the how everything was also culminated to, this was a mini 3-episode arc that started from episode 1, when we are introduced to the Hyenamon, what happens to Tomoro's brother, and then we're now finding like the resolution.
Yeah.
And it's just, the resolution wasn't simply, okay, cool, done, dusted, close the books, let's move on. It's no. We're just getting started. Here's some interesting things that may pay off dividends down the line. And so, 4.5 comes to the top of the charts for me.
Guz, what about you?
Well, I gave the first episode a 4.5 because I was hesitant.
You gave it 4.7. You gave it 4.7.
I did, right. My bad. Because I was like, it's near perfect. I think this one for me is probably going to be around 4.5, mostly because we do get some flashbacks and we see Tomo with the learning in the school and being ostracized and all that. Very great world building, character building, and we see a lot of really fun things. But for me, the Dark Digivolution was the most interesting thing, and I would have actually given anything to have Gekomon Dark Digivolve in that moment.
I'm glad that they held off for a bit.
Oh, I know, 100%. Like, I agree they didn't. Like, I love that they're teasing us with it. However, I have ADHD and impulse control, so I just want to see it. I wanted it before this happened already, like, as you can see, right? So, like, for me, I think I'm going to go with the 4.5 as well.
Yeah.
Because it was still a really good episode. And I do think that it still poses some really nice questions of the world, things that I personally haven't had answered, which I'm looking forward to finding more answers about. Yes, we already mentioned at the top, we have seen episode 4 already, but I didn't find too many answers for those questions there either. Yeah. So this is one of those sort of more slow burn situations. Yeah. So I'm loving the little threads. The one thing that I am happy about is we do actually get the promise of the brother's recovery as well.
Yeah.
By saving the girl, right? Which is another one of those tropes, and save the cheerleader, save the world kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So, we get all of that. It's really, really good. We get all these really nice emotional moments. Tomo even apologizing for, I think, the first time in the series. Like, sincerely. Like, I guess if he said it to the, what's her name? The chick that got plot sickness.
Hitomi, wasn't it?
Yeah, Hitomi. Yeah, he was like, I scrambled your egg. My bad, whatever. Like, he was very just sort of like... He did. He scrambled her Sapatoma. It's an egg. You know what I mean? I scrambled your egg. My bad. Like, he was just sort of very detached. He didn't really care. And this was like all those really good moments, and there's a lot of really nice payoff there. So I definitely do not see this being the weakest episode.
No.
And I know that most people that like rate things on websites like that, you need to have a registered account. You sometimes even pay memberships. So like even all of that is just like so many layers of like bougie shenaniganery that I'd write it off. I'd watch it your damn self. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Though that does lead to something a little bit hard for our ranking of episodes, because both Geo and I say it's the best, so I would put it in my ranking as 312, but it's hard to come up with an agreement of if it's better or worse than episode 1 if Guz is in disagreement.
Well, it's not much a disagreement. It's more of like episode 1 was... It was a really strong start. It was huge, and I don't think that you'd be able to enjoy this episode without episode 1.
Yeah.
Like, no duh, it's a fucking episode, man.
So
you know what I mean?
If we do maths, which is what I usually do for the overall
That's
ranking,
dangerous.
Yeah,
that's dangerous.
It does, like, the combined average. So we add up the ratings and then divide by the amount of people who put an answer in.
Yeah.
It is like episode 3 is like a point or like 0.1 or 0.2 higher. So I'm gonna go with that just because like it makes it easier. Are you okay with that? I mean, you can have your own personal ranking of which one is higher.
To me, it's all inherently subjective anyway.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, it's not that deep. Yeah.
because I gave episode 2, like, I think it was 3.5, because it was one of those eat your vegetable things. But like, these were some really punchy, really good, very information world building heavy episodes that still had some really nice action. So like, I can't say that it's not good. It's just not. Yeah. Like, episode 3 didn't have me thinking every second of every single day like episode 1 did.
Yeah. That's fair.
It just didn't grab me as hard.
Yeah.
And I want it to grab me that hard.
Okay.
Consensually, obviously.
Yeah, of course. But anyway, that's more or less like the thoughts about this week's episode. So moving on to pondering Postmon pattern predictions. I mentioned at the top of the show that I'm not going to do predictions because we've already seen episode 4, so we'd just be lying, I guess. Episode 4, family. There's going to be a family involved, ? But anyway, and I've just thought that I may as well not do Postmon Pat because we're, as I mentioned at the top of the show, we're going to be recording straight after, and this episode has gone on for almost an hour, so I try to keep them like under an hour. So I'm going to actually be moving Postmon Pat to episode 4, which we'll be recording very shortly anyway. But yeah, so that's just to short it down. Also because I just don't trust OBS for longer than an hour. So yeah. I mean, I don't trust it for over 20 minutes. So I'm already nervous enough as it is. But yes, so do we have any other thoughts about the series so far before I wrap this up?
No, just excited to see what the digital world for this looks like.
Yeah,
when that comes.
I still think that it feels like it could be more, as I mentioned in episode 2's coverage, where it's more like what we've seen in modern Digimon anime, except for Adventure Colon, I guess, where we don't get to the digital world for quite a bit, like maybe. I'm thinking
there's gonna be maybe an Ultimate or a Mega level Digimon.
Yeah.
That puts the team in a series of a pretty big, like a pinch point.
Yeah.
Then what's going to happen is they get back a really nice counterattack, nearly KO it, whatever that is, and then it's going to break through the mirror world, which I lovingly called the laser tag dimension.
Yeah, which is true. It's
and then
very
they're gonna,
accurate.
Yeah, and then they're going to fall down to a quote unquote lower, like, level, and that's just going to let them free fall into the digital world, maybe a la oh gosh, now I'm blanking, Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
They get the whole Miles Morales falling off the glass backflip thing. Like, I think we might get that, but for them falling into the digital world when they break through that mirror dimension. So it's going to be interesting, but I look forward to them exploring that space.
Yeah, me too, absolutely. And sort of seeing like why it's there. Like, yeah. I hope they expand on it, because in other seasons, just like, it's just an in-between world. Like, I would like to know why it is there. If it's not,
and why it tastes like strawberry.
And why does it remind me of laser tag? God damn it! But in any case, let's wrap this up so we can record another podcast immediately after. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you to Guz and Geo for joining me. You can contact me and stay updated. You can leave a comment on YouTube to join the conversation. And of course, I usually will read these out on episodes. I've just decided this one's going on too long and we're about to be doing the next one anyway, so let's do it there. For a full list of ways to find the podcast across the internet, such as YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Twitter, head over to my Linktree, which is linktr.ee/LostinTranslationmon. If you enjoy the podcast or videos, or the fact that my voice is now leaving my body, apparently, you can sign up on Patreon to show support, get some cool rewards, and help me with some milestones. And thank you to my current supporters on Patreon, which is the part that I always flub and always mess up for some ungodly reason. Stephen Reeves, who is 164 on Archive Our Own, Kadawashi, Noob, who's social to follow Twitter. Follow Chisai on Twitter at ChisaiDoTheSex. See, it's like a tongue twister every time and I have no idea why. Lizmet, who is Lekman on Tumblr, Nicholas Magnus, Lucas, Jason105, Patrick, Jason, Shelby, Diddle Hazard, who's on Twitch at The Diddle Hazard, Tropimon, Beamon, Tamer Kasai, Big Bad Beetleborg, Flavin, Bent Archer, Cappy, Cyber, and Baltic Halberd. And that's why I don't typically follow scripts, because I am very bad at reading my words that I've written, so I just go off the old brain box because otherwise I'll just flub and flub and flub. Anyway, you can also make a one-off donation on PayPal, which you can find linked in the description. It's paypal.me/airdramon. You can also donate to me on my Coffee account, which is ko-fi.com/airdra. And I didn't mess up too much, but again, thank you so much to Guz and Geo for joining me to talk about the digital monsters again. Can we find any of you anywhere?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Except for the comment section. Get on it, fam.
Which Guz trolls? Not trolls. Trails
Trolls.
through? Trolls. There we are.
Trolls.
There trolls through the and lurks in the comment section. So chuck a hi Guz in the comments there, and of course
if you made it this far in the video, comment hi Guz to confuse the other viewers. Da-da-da-da-da.
Yay! But in any case, I will see you on the next one. Bye!
Boy.
Boy.